Adam Zivo is a journalist with the National Post. He wrote a series of columns on drugs in Canada, which have been astonishing and been big news for people from coast to coast to coast. He joins me right now because I put it to you, I've watched kids and young adults, and it seems to me that if you're in a town or a city in Canada where the federal government will give you clean needles and drugs, and you're out of a job and you're not in school, somebody might just say, well, why not take these drugs? And it's fun, or I'm going to go crazy or something. I mean, are we creating a drug class?
We are to a certain extent, but I think what you're alluding to here is something which is referred to as the social determinants of health. We have to keep in mind that people's decision to use drugs are often caused by larger structural forces such as poverty, racism, and related factors.
Right.
Right. So when people have a sense of hopelessness and despair and they have no other options available to them, then addiction becomes very attractive. And oftentimes public health discourse talks about how we solve those larger problems.
But Adam, hopelessness at one time or despair many, many times would drive somebody to do something. Well, I'm going to get a job pumping gas, or I'm going to get a job cleaning dishes. I did that years ago. But you want to, that drives you forward. So what you're saying is that certain conditions, instead of driving them forward now, if the government's giving out free drugs, people say, well, why not?
Well, see, this is why there's a bit of a problem in the current discourse in public health, where people only focus on the social determinants of health and don't consider the impacts of lowering barriers to drug use, right? If someone experiences despair, the appropriate response is to support them. But if you lower drug use, then you're just enabling bad behavior and you're making it harder for them to overcome these structural factors.
Okay, so then what's the solution?
I mean, I think the solution here would be better investment into mental health, better investment into affordable housing and the housing market more generally. But these things take a while to address. Yeah. So you have to have those kinds of investments paired with more short-term investments in decreasing access to opioids and other illicit substances.
Okay, so are you saying that the government program of giving out free needles and free drugs is wrong?
With free needles, I'm more agnostic, but with safer supply giving out free drugs, I think that it's very clearly wrong, and it is increasing fentanyl use, and it's increasing human misery in this country.
And so why is the government doing that?
Because unfortunately, the people who are making these decisions are ideologically driven, and they are being guided by a very low quality evidence base, which they claim shows that this program is working when it is not.
Adam Zivo, thank you very much for all that research. 3 minutes. This country needs bold and fearless discussion of the issues that are confronting it. And the Trudeau government is censoring the news and paying other news providers. So we need to keep going. Please subscribe and please donate generously. The crew needs to be paid.